What if I told you that the brain, that vast network of neurons, is not just the organ we think of when we imagine our thoughts, actions, and reactions? What if I told you it is, in fact, a doorway, a portal, into the very nature of our consciousness, our reality, and even our soul? Today, we embark on an exploration of how ancient mystical techniques can not only unlock the deeper potentials of the mind, but can rewire the very pathways that shape how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. The idea that the brain is a fixed and static entity is rapidly being dispelled by modern science. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life, has shown us that our brain is capable of tremendous transformation. But this transformation doesn't need to be left to the chance of random events and experiences. Ancient mystical practices have long held the secret key to consciously rewiring our brain, a key that can lead us to unlock deeper states of awareness, higher wisdom, and more profound well-being. The mystical techniques we are about to delve into are not just spiritual rituals, they are profound mental and energetic tools designed to reshape our brain's wiring on a fundamental level. These practices, passed down through generations, are designed to dissolve the rigid patterns of the mind and create space for new ways of thinking, perceiving, and being. But before we dive into these transformative methods, it's important to first understand the brain's architecture, how it operates in its current state, and what it means to truly rewire it. At any given moment, your brain is firing off billions of electrical signals, each one creating thoughts, memories, emotions, and actions. This incredibly complex process shapes how we experience life. However, much of this activity is driven by unconscious patterns formed over years of conditioning, upbringing, and life experiences. These are the neural pathways that we create and reinforce through repetition. And this is where the magic of rewiring begins. Every time you think a thought or perform an action, your brain strengthens the neural connection related to that thought or action. Think of it like a road. Each time you drive down it, the path gets smoother, more defined. This is why habits, both good and bad, can be so hard to break. The more you engage in a particular behavior or thought pattern, the more reinforced it becomes in your brain's circuitry. Now, what if you could consciously interrupt these automatic patterns and replace them with new ones? What if you could create new neural connections, ones that promote clarity, creativity, peace, and overall well-being? This is where mystical techniques come in. Through practices like meditation, mantra chanting, and breath control, we can introduce new energies and states of awareness into the mind, essentially helping the brain rewire itself with deliberate intention. The key lies in understanding that the brain is not just a reactive organ, but also a profoundly adaptable one. In essence, you can rewire your brain by engaging with practices that shift your consciousness, ones that elevate your vibration, and allow you to break free from habitual, conditioned patterns of thinking. One of the most profound techniques for rewiring your brain is meditation. This ancient practice, which has been used for millennia across various cultures and spiritual traditions, is a tool for not only calming the mind, but for reprogramming it. Meditation offers a direct path into the realm of neuroplasticity by allowing you to focus your attention and energy in a way that influences the very structure of your brain. Studies have shown that regular meditation can increase the thickness of the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making, emotional regulation, and executive functions. It can also reduce the size of the amygdala, the brain's center for fear and stress responses. These changes are not just theoretical, they are real, observable shifts in brain function, which makes meditation one of the most powerful tools available to anyone looking to rewire their brain. But how does this mystical practice affect the brain? When you meditate, you begin to detach from the constant chatter of your thoughts and tap into a deeper layer of consciousness. This shift in focus creates new neural pathways that are less driven by habitual thinking and more aligned with stillness, presence, and awareness. Over time, meditation trains the brain to create new, healthier patterns that promote mental clarity, emotional resilience, and greater peace. The most common form of meditation is mindfulness meditation, which encourages you to observe your thoughts without attachment or judgment. But there are many other forms that focus on different aspects of the brain, such as transcendental meditation, which uses a mantra to bring the mind into deep states of stillness, or loving-kindness meditation, which fosters compassion and empathy. Each of these methods works by creating new neural connections, making it possible for you to rewire the brain and shift your awareness to a higher state of consciousness. The chanting of mantras is another mystical practice that has been used for thousands of years to rewire the brain. A mantra is a sacred word or phrase that is repeated, either aloud or silently, to focus the mind and connect with the divine. But the power of a mantra extends beyond its spiritual significance. When repeated over time, the vibrations of the mantra can directly influence the neural pathways in your brain. Mantras work by inducing a state of deep concentration. In this focused state, the mind is freed from the distractions of daily life, allowing it to reconnect with its highest essence. This kind of focused attention has been shown to strengthen the prefrontal cortex and help regulate the emotional centers of the brain. As you chant, the vibrational energy of the mantra resonates through your body, bringing your mental and emotional states into harmony. One of the most well-known examples of a mantra in the mystical traditions is the Hindu mantra Om. This syllable represents the cosmic sound, the essence of the universe, and by chanting it, practitioners believe they can connect with the infinite and transcend the limitations of the ego. Scientific studies have found that chanting Om can lower heart rate, reduce stress, and even change brainwave patterns, making it easier to enter a meditative state. Similarly, in Tibetan Buddhism, mantras are used to invoke the power of specific deities and energies, such as Om Mani Padme Hum, which is believed to embody the compassion of the Buddha. As you repeat this mantra, you are not only calling upon these energies, but you are also wiring your brain to resonate with these elevated states of consciousness. The power of mantra lies in its ability to bypass the ordinary thinking mind and engage the brain on a deeper level. By repeating a mantra, you can begin to dissolve the habitual thought patterns that keep you stuck in negative loops and replace them with vibrations that lead to peace, wisdom, and insight. Breathing is one of the most basic and essential functions of the body, yet it holds far more power than we realize. Through the mystical practice of breath control, or pranayama, we can harness the breath to directly influence the mind and even rewire the brain. Pranayama, an ancient technique in yogic tradition, involves controlling the breath to increase the flow of energy, or prana, throughout the body. Breath control works by calming the nervous system, reducing stress, and bringing the mind into a state of clarity and focus. It has been shown to increase the production of neurochemicals such as serotonin and dopamine, which are responsible for regulating mood, focus, and motivation. One powerful pranayama practice is alternate nostril breathing, nadi shodhana, which involves inhaling through one nostril, holding the breath, and exhaling through the other nostril. This technique balances the left and right hemispheres of the brain, promoting mental clarity, emotional stability, and overall well-being. By practicing this simple technique regularly, you can strengthen the neural pathways associated with focus, emotional regulation, and stress reduction. In addition to pranayama, other breath-focused practices, such as holotropic breathwork, involve conscious, rapid breathing patterns that can induce altered states of consciousness. These altered states provide a unique opportunity for healing and transformation, allowing individuals to access the subconscious mind, release repressed emotions, and break free from old patterns. By engaging with breath control techniques, you not only calm the mind, but also rewire the brain to function at a higher, more harmonious level. The breath becomes a bridge between the conscious and unconscious mind, creating new pathways that promote healing, clarity, and insight. Visualization, an ancient technique as old as human consciousness itself. Though it may sound deceptively simple, the power of visualization extends far beyond what the eye can see. It is the art of mentally picturing a desired outcome, a future reality, or a state of being, and in doing so, shaping the very architecture of your mind. But what makes visualization so potent? Why does it have the ability to transform your brain, your thoughts, and even your life? At its core, Visualization is the act of engaging the mind in a deliberate, focused process where images, emotions, and sensations of a future event or desired state are vividly brought to life within the theater of the mind. Yet what is truly mystical about visualization is that it works on the premise that the brain cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined event and a real experience. In essence, when you visualize an action or outcome, your brain treats it as though it's actually happening. The same neural pathways are activated as if you were physically performing the action or experiencing the event in real time. This is not just spiritual theory. Scientific studies have proven this phenomenon. Neuroscientific research has shown that when you vividly imagine a movement or experience, the same parts of your brain light up as they would if you were doing it physically. Athletes have known this for years, using visualization techniques to rehearse their movements, sharpen their focus, and enhance their performance. Whether it's a tennis player visualizing the perfect serve or a gymnast imagining a flawless routine, they are reprogramming their brains to prime themselves for success. But the true beauty of this lies in the fact that visualization works on the brain in precisely the same way, whether you're visualizing success in a sport, personal relationships, or even the way you want to feel emotionally. By vividly rehearsing positive outcomes in the mind, you are engaging in a form of mental rehearsal that shapes new neural connections. These neural pathways are the very foundation of your thought patterns, habits, and behaviors. The more you visualize a certain state of being or action, the more entrenched those neural pathways become, and in time, your brain begins to recognize this new way of thinking and acting as the default mode. But why does this work? The answer lies in the brain's extraordinary plasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. Every time you visualize, you are teaching your brain to act in accordance with the desired state or outcome. It's like forging a new road in an unexplored wilderness. At first, the path may be faint and overgrown, but the more you travel it, the clearer and more defined it becomes, until eventually it becomes a well-worn trail. With each session of visualization, you are carving out that path of mental clarity, and over time, it shifts from a place of effort to one of ease. The concept of visualization as a tool for change is so powerful because it taps into the deep creative potential that lies within all of us. It is, at its essence, the art of manifesting new realities. It allows you to shift your perspective on life and actively create the world you want to experience. By regularly picturing your desired reality, you train your mind to notice and act on opportunities that align with that vision, while also reinforcing the internal belief system that supports that reality. One of the most profound and effective forms of visualization comes from the mystical traditions, where it is said that the mind and body are not separate, but deeply interconnected. In these traditions, visualization is not merely about imagining an outcome. It is about aligning with your highest self, your divine essence, and the energies that govern the universe. A beautiful example of this comes from the light body visualization, which has been practiced for centuries in spiritual traditions across the world, from Taoism to Tibetan Buddhism. In this technique, you are asked to imagine yourself surrounded by a radiant, glowing light, an emanation of your higher self. This light symbolizes your connection to the divine, the infinite wisdom that lies at the core of your being. It is a reminder that you are more than just your body, more than just your mind. You are an eternal soul, luminous and boundless. As you visualize this light, you begin to expand it, allowing it to grow until it surrounds you completely, infusing your being with energy, clarity, and peace. This is no ordinary light. It is the light of pure consciousness, representing love, wisdom, and divine awareness. As you picture it expanding, you align yourself with these higher qualities, calming the mind, soothing the emotions, and opening the heart to greater understanding. With each session of light body visualization, you are not only reinforcing these qualities within your psyche, but you are also activating neural pathways in your brain that promote them in your daily life. Over time, you begin to internalize these traits, and they become reflected in your interactions, decisions, and overall sense of well-being. The mystical power of this technique lies in the fact that it does more than simply change your thoughts. It shifts your vibrational frequency. Just as the physical world is made up of energy vibrating at different frequencies, so too is the mind. When you visualize yourself surrounded by the light of your higher self, you are tuning your brain to a higher frequency of consciousness, one that is less weighed down by fear, doubt, and limiting beliefs. In this elevated state, your brain becomes a more powerful tool for creating and attracting the life you envision. The light body technique is just one example of the vast power of visualization. But there are countless other ways to visualize, each tapping into a different aspect of the mind, body, and soul. For example, you might visualize yourself overcoming a fear, like public speaking, by imagining yourself standing confidently before an audience, delivering your message with clarity and poise. Or perhaps you visualize yourself healing from an illness, seeing your body bathed in a healing light, cells regenerating, energy flowing freely through every part of you. Each of these visualizations works in the same way, by activating neural pathways and sending signals to the brain that reinforce the desired state of being. But the deeper you go, the more you begin to realize that the true power of visualization is in its ability to access and shift the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is where your deepest beliefs, fears, and desires reside, often hidden from your conscious awareness. By visualizing the changes you wish to see in your life, you are essentially bypassing the conscious mind's limitations and speaking directly to the unconscious mind, reprogramming it to align with your higher purpose and aspirations. There is a beautiful, almost mystical quality to this process. It's as though, in the act of visualization, you are entering into a sacred dialogue with the universe, an exchange where you send forth your intention, and the universe responds with the opportunities, synchronicities, and inner shifts that make that intention possible. It is a cosmic dance, an exchange between the mind and the infinite, where the act of envisioning your desired reality is a creative force that sets into motion the very conditions for that reality to manifest. Visualization is not a passive act. It is a deeply active engagement with the forces of creation that lie at your fingertips. It requires not only focus, but also emotional investment. When you visualize, you must feel the emotions of your desired outcome as though they are happening right now. Whether it's joy, peace, abundance, or love, you must embody these emotions fully, allowing them to fill every cell of your being. This emotional resonance amplifies the power of the visualization, creating a stronger connection to your desired reality. But like any mystical practice, the key to its effectiveness lies in consistency. It's not enough to visualize once and expect change to happen overnight. Visualization is like planting a seed. It takes time, patience, and nurturing. The more regularly you engage in this practice, the more your brain will begin to wire itself to match the reality you are creating. And just as important, the more you visualize, the more your energy and focus will naturally align with that reality, attracting people, circumstances, and opportunities that support it. There is a certain magic to visualization, a quality that feels almost alchemical. As you continue to visualize, you begin to experience subtle shifts, an increased sense of confidence, a greater flow of opportunities, a deeper connection to your intuition. These are the signs that your visualization practice is working, that your brain is being rewired to reflect the higher, more expansive state of consciousness you are cultivating. In the end, visualization is not just a tool for achieving personal goals or manifesting material desires. It is a doorway to spiritual awakening. It is a means of reconnecting with the divine blueprint that exists within you and around you. It is the art of becoming a conscious creator of your life, aligning your inner world with the infinite possibilities of the universe. Through visualization, you can begin to rewrite your story, one thought, one image, one breath at a time. So take a moment, close your eyes. Visualize yourself as the highest, most radiant version of yourself, surrounded by light, peace, and infinite possibility. See your dreams, your goals, and your highest aspirations as already realized. Feel the emotions of that reality as if it's happening now. And as you do, remember that this is not just a mental exercise. It is a mystical practice, a sacred act of creation, rewiring your brain to bring forth the reality you were always meant to live. This is the magic of visualization, a tool that not only reprograms the mind but aligns the soul with its deepest, most divine purpose. Your brain is far more than a biological organ. It is a sacred tool, capable of transformation and transcendence. Through mystical practices like meditation, mantra chanting, breath control, and visualization, you can rewire your brain to achieve greater levels of consciousness, emotional well-being, and spiritual insight. Just as the brain can be rewired by habit and circumstance, it can also be rewired through intention and practice. By engaging with these mystical techniques, you are not just changing your brain, you are aligning with your highest potential, awakening new states of awareness, and unlocking the divine possibilities that reside within. As you continue on your journey of self-discovery, remember that the rewiring of your brain is not a destination, but a continuous process, an unfolding. Each time you meditate, chant a mantra, breathe with intention, or visualize, you are making new neural connections that will shape your reality. The path of mystical practices is not one of quick fixes or shallow promises. It is a deep, sacred journey into the very heart of who you are. With each step, you become more aligned with the infinite potential that resides within you, and with each breath, thought, and action, you begin to rewrite the story of your life. Are you ready to begin? The keys to rewiring your brain are already in your hands. Now it's time to unlock them and step into a new reality.